The U.S. Embassy is being moved from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem on orders of the president. It opens on Monday inside an existing consulate building until a permanent home is built. Here to discuss the move and reaction in Time Magazine is editor-at-large Karl Vick. Karl, good morning. You spend a lot of time there. You've been covering this a lot intensely. Can you talk to us about why this is so contentious to recognize this area as the capital, Jerusalem?
Well, it's not only like the area of what Israel now exists in physically that's contended. It's a matter of contention that the war was fought over in 1948, but it's also the idea of a capital. Jerusalem's been a disputed city for most of its existence, but the dispute now is between Israel and the Palestinian people. And if you're going to have a two-state solution, both states have to have a capital. The whole idea was always that they would share Jerusalem. Trump is saying it belongs to Israel.
This is a symbolic move at the moment because the embassy, for practical purposes, most of the staff is still going to be in Tel Aviv.
Right.
But they're saying now that Jerusalem is officially the embassy. So it's symbolic, but it's substantial.
It is substantial because you're basically telling the Palestinians you're going to have to find somewhere else to call your capital. So it really undercuts the idea of a two-state solution, which has been in trouble for a long time anyway. Yeah. Really interesting, this consulate building in Jerusalem. It's located in South Jerusalem. Some of it sort of laps into what was considered Palestinian territory before 1967. But it also was it sort of was staffed by Palestinians, served Palestinian East Jerusalem, as well as Israeli Jews from West Jerusalem. And it was kind of an empowerment zone for the Palestinians. You'd see them serving or receiving the supplications and applications of ideological Israeli Jews.
And speaking of the Palestinians, the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, called the embassy relocation a slap in the face, even saying that Washington could no longer be regarded as an honest broker. Where does it stand? I mean, it just seems like we continue to talk about these two groups fighting, and now it's a slap in the face, according to the Palestinian president.
The idea was always that the U.S. could be the broker, could take the interests of the Palestinians and balance them because against the interests of Israel. The idea being that both sides could trust. And this is what Abbas is saying is and he was put in place in some ways by the Americans. Not a militant man, always a peacemaker, and he was never able to deliver because Israel wouldn't negotiate in good faith according to the Palestinians. But the point is it hasn't happened in all these 20, 25
years. So, Karl,
years.
Where does this leave peace efforts then?
Where they've been, but even worse, and they haven't been in a good place for a while.
How's this being received by other Arabs?
Other Arab
countries
in a much more muted way than people would have expected. If this had happened 10 years ago when there was still more hope for peace, and where Israel wasn't as entrenched and hadn't had the alignments that it has with the Saudis and other Gulf states, you would have seen much more of an outcry from the Arab world.
Karl Vick, thanks so much.